What are mistakes? Should we try to avoid them? And what about those things that sometimes are mistaken for mistakes? Let's start by considering this word mistake, which Merriam-Webster defines as a wrong judgment. Basically, mistakes are just errors in judgment or events that occur in a way that we were not intending. Now let's consider avoiding mistakes. First, is it possible to avoid mistakes? Sure, there are things we can do to get better at certain tasks and functions, which may limit our mistakes, but it's likely that there will always be some level of error in what we do, some opportunity for us to be more efficient, effective, etc. Second, should we try to avoid mistakes? I don't think it's actually beneficial to focus on avoiding them. Let's instead turn our attention to moving in the direction that we do want to head in. Think about it this way. You come to a fork in the road where you happen to know that one of the paths will not get you to where you intend to go in the manner in which you'd like to get there. The other path is one that you know from experience and research is more appropriate for you and perhaps more efficient. Why would you want to focus your energy on not going down the path that isn't going to get you to where you intend to go? Sure, we want to know it's there and be mindful of alternate paths, but isn't it a better use of our energy to focus on the direction we do want to head in? Even when we're on the more appropriate paths in life, there are still going to be speed bumps along the way, some of which may be mistakes that we're responsible for, or perhaps others have been initiated by external sources. However, many of the quote mistakes are simply circumstances that we couldn't have prepared for even if we tried. So whether we want to label these as mistakes, mishaps, failures, or fiascos, let us take a moment to breathe and consider them for what they are. Events that have occurred that, when combined with a number of other separate internal and external factors, resulted in a certain outcome. When we remove the judgment from our internal dialogue or interactions with friends, family, and colleagues, we reframe these errors in a beneficial light, providing ourselves and each other the opportunity to see what is, what could be, and the actions we can take to head in the direction that will get us to where we intend to go. I'm Justin McBride, and this has been a quick take consideration here on the Mindful X podcast. For more considerations and weekly full-length episodes where we talk about anything and everything relating to experiencing life mindfully, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast player, and never miss an episode. On next week's full-length episode, I'll be joined by the co-host of our Mindful Mindset segment, Mona Nairi, where we're going to have a conversation about the internal dialogue of thoughts and emotions. Thanks so much for stopping by, and until next time, remember, mindfulness is only a few intentional breaths away. This podcast and the Mindful X Network are programs of Social Profit Initiative, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. For more information, visit socialprofit.org.